Have you ever like stopped to think why, why a certain smell
Hmm.
like instantly transports you back to a vivid memory,
Mm.
even like decades ago? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
totally.
It's really incredible.
It
Like
is.
our sense of smell has like a direct line to our emotions and memories.
Right.
And that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
The mysterious and powerful world of smell.
You hit the nail on the head. Smell is so unique in its connection to, like, our experiences.
Yeah.
It's often overlooked,
Totally.
but plays a much bigger role in our lives than we realize.
I think so too. And, we're going to explore a bunch of stuff today. We're
Hmm.
going to explore like the science behind how we smell,
Mm.
the surprising ways smell has shaped societies, and of course, those incredible smell-triggered memories,
Yes.
that feel like time travel.
Mm.
We've got some fascinating research and personal stories to share, so
I'm ready.
buckle up.
All right. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
I think what's often overlooked is just how complex our sense of smell actually is.
Hmm.
Back in the late 1980s, a scientist named Linda Buck was trying to unravel this very mystery.
Oh, I've heard of her.
Ah,
She won a Nobel Prize for her work, right?
exactly. She discovered that we have over 1,000 different smell receptors in our noses.
Wow.
Each one is designed to detect a specific type of odor molecule.
Okay.
Think of it like a giant lock and key system,
Uh-huh.
where each scent has its unique key that unlocks a specific receptor.
1,000 different receptors.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that complex.
And here's where it gets even more fascinating.
Okay.
When an odor molecule, let's say from that freshly brewed coffee,
Yeah.
hits the right receptor, it triggers a signal that travels to your brain.
Okay.
But it doesn't just go to any part of the brain.
Right.
It goes straight to the amygdala and hippocampus.
Now, those names sound familiar, but remind me of what they do again.
Okay, so think of the amygdala as like the emotional center of your brain.
Okay.
And the hippocampus is where memories are formed and stored.
Got it.
So when a smell signal hits those areas, it's no wonder that scents can evoke such powerful feelings and vivid memories. It's like a direct shortcut to our emotional past.
That explains why a whiff of my grandmother's perfume can, like, instantly transport me back to her living room.
Yeah.
Even though she's been gone for years.
It's powerful stuff. And here's another mind-blowing fact.
Okay.
We can distinguish between 1 trillion different smells.
What?
That's right.
A trillion?
Trillion. It completely dwarfs our ability to see colors or hear sounds.
That's incredible. What's like the evolutionary advantage of having such a finely tuned sense of smell?
Well, think about it. For our ancestors, smell was crucial for survival.
Right.
They relied on smell to find food, avoid predators, and even choose mates. Being able to detect subtle differences in scents could mean the difference between life and death.
So we carry that legacy with us today, even though we might not be, like, sniffing out danger
Right.
in the same way.
Yeah, but it's still a powerful force in our lives. It shapes our preferences, influences our moods, and connects us to our past in a way that no other sense can.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Smell isn't just personal.
Right.
It's also deeply intertwined with culture and society. And sometimes it's even been used to justify prejudice and discrimination.
Oh, wow. So are you talking about how, like, certain smells have been stereotyped or used to label people?
Exactly. One striking example is a landmark Supreme Court case,
Okay.
Plessy v. Ferguson, which sadly upheld segregation in the United States.
Right.
During the trial, the prosecutor claimed he could actually smell Homer Plessy's race
Wow.
and use that as a reason to keep train cars segregated.
I'm speechless. Trying to identify someone's race by smell.
I know.
That's outrageous and completely unfounded.
It was, and it highlights how something as subjective as smell can be twisted and manipulated
Right.
to reinforce power structures and prejudice.
Right.
It makes you think about how cultural biases might shape our own perceptions of what smells good or bad.
Yeah, it's a chilling reminder that our sense of smell, while powerful and personal, can also be influenced by the social context we live in.
Absolutely. And this leads us to the fascinating realm of smell and memory.
I am all ears, especially after that last bit. I'm really curious to hear about the more personal side of how smells shape our experiences.
Well, let me tell you about Ernestine Dean, whose story beautifully illustrates the power of scent
Okay.
to unlock memories and connect us to our past, even in the face of hardship.
Okay, I'm ready when you are here. Tell me about Ernestine.
Ernestine was visiting a Christmas market in Germany
Okay.
when the warm, nutty aroma of roasted almonds stopped her in her tracks. It instantly transported her back to her childhood in South Africa,
Wow.
to her grandmother's kitchen filled with the smells of spices and baking.
I can almost picture that scene, the bustling market, the twinkling lights, and then that powerful wave of scent bringing back a flood of memories.
Right.
It's incredible how smells can be so evocative.
For Ernestine, smell became more than just a trigger for nostalgia. It became a way for her to hold on to her family history, especially during a difficult period in South Africa's past.
You're talking about the apartheid era?
Yes.
I've read about the forced removals and the terrible injustices faced by Black South Africans. I can't imagine what it must have been like to live through that.
Ernestine's family was one of many forcibly removed from their home during that time.
Wow.
They lost their land, their community, and a part of their identity.
That's awful.
But amidst that loss, she clung to the sense of her childhood as a way to stay connected to her roots.
So smell became a kind of anchor to her past, a way to preserve those memories and traditions that were threatened by the upheaval around her.
Exactly. The smells of her grandmother's cooking,
Mm.
the earthy aroma of traditional dishes, the sweet scent of tamalaki, a special dessert they made together.
Wow.
These became more than just pleasant sensations. They became anchors to a lost world,
Yeah.
tangible reminders of her heritage.
It makes me think of how certain smells in my own life evoke specific memories,
Mm.
like the smell of my dad's cologne, or the scent of freshly cut grass on a summer day. They're like bookmarks in the story of my life.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Ernestine described smell as a bookmark to her past, a
Wow.
way to access those precious memories and pass them down to future generations. But her story isn't just about sweet nostalgia.
I was just thinking that her experience of smell during that time must have also included some difficult associations.
Yeah,
The apartheid era was such a tumultuous and often violent period.
absolutely. Alongside those comforting smells of home,
Mm.
Ernestine also remembers the harsh, acrid smell of burning flares and tear gas.
Oh.
These were the smells of protest and resistance,
Wow.
but also of fear and oppression.
It's amazing how a single sense can hold such a range of emotions.
Right.
From the warmth and comfort of her grandmother's kitchen to the stark reality of the political climate at the time.
It speaks to the complexity of smell and how it's intertwined with our experiences, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
But there's one more part to Ernestine's story that I find particularly moving.
I'm eager to hear it. What happened?
Years later, long after she had moved away from her childhood home,
Okay.
Ernestine discovered arum lilies growing near her new home. She hadn't seen them since she was a child,
Okay.
and the scent hit her like a wave. It was the smell of her ancestral home,
Yeah.
a place she thought she'd lost forever.
Wow, that must have been an incredibly powerful moment. It's
Which
like the smell bridged the gap between her past and present,
Right.
bringing a sense of closure and healing.
It's a beautiful testament to the enduring power of smell to connect us to our roots
Right.
and to remind us that even in the face of loss and displacement, there's always a thread that ties us back to where we come from.
You know, hearing Ernestine's story really resonates with my own experience with smell loss.
Mm-hmm.
A while back, I lost my sense of smell due to COVID,
Yeah.
and it was honestly one of the most disorienting experiences I've ever had.
I remember you mentioning that it must have felt like losing a part of yourself.
It did. Suddenly, food tasted bland, and the world felt strangely muted. I couldn't even smell my morning coffee, which, as you know, is a ritual I cherish.
It's amazing how we take our senses for granted until we lose one of them. And smell in particular seems so connected to our emotional well-being.
Absolutely. It made me realize how much I relied on smell to connect with the world around me and to experience those little joys in life. But thankfully, my sense of smell slowly returned.
Oh, good.
And the moment I could finally smell my grandmother's perfume again, I was overcome with emotion.
That must have been an incredible feeling, like regaining a lost connection.
It was. It brought back a rush of memories, both happy and sad.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of how precious and powerful our sense of smell really is. It's like a hidden language that speaks to our deepest emotions and memories.
And now, as a new mother, you have the opportunity to create those smell-infused memories for your daughter,
Yes.
weaving scents into the fabric of her childhood.
You're right. I think about that a lot now. The smells of bedtime stories,
Yeah.
the scent of her favorite blanket, even the aroma of our home. I want her to have those sensory anchors that will connect her to a sense of comfort and belonging.
It's beautiful to think about how those seemingly simple smells will become part of her story,
Yeah.
shaping her memories and connecting her to her family history.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
It does.
Smell is so much more than just a physical sensation.
Yeah.
It's a thread that ties us to our past, our present, and even our future. Makes you wonder what stories our own scents tell, you know?
Mm.
Well, we've talked about the science, the societal impact, and the deeply personal connection between smell and memory.
Right.
It feels like we've only scratched the surface of this fascinating world.
I think that's the beauty of it. There's always more to discover with smell. It's such a rich and multi-layered sense
Yeah.
that it can be studied from so many different angles.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder.
Okay.
We've heard Ernestine's story. I shared a bit about my own experience, but what about you?
Oh, what a great question. What smells serve as powerful bookmarks in your life? Yeah.
What stories and emotions do they evoke? Take a moment to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the smell of freshly cut grass that reminds you of childhood summers,
Yeah.
or the aroma of a specific spice that transports you back to your grandmother's kitchen.
Or maybe it's the smell of a certain book or a particular type of wood that evokes a feeling of comfort and familiarity.
Yes.
It's fascinating how these seemingly simple scents can unlock such powerful memories and emotions.
It really speaks to the idea that smell is more than just a physical sensation. It's a gateway to our past, a trigger for nostalgia,
Right.
and a reminder of the people and places that have shaped who we are.
And for those who might be experiencing smell loss,
Yeah.
whether temporary or permanent, I want to say that I understand the sense of disconnection it can bring,
Right.
but remember there's hope. There are therapies like smell training that can help to reawaken the sense of smell.
That's right. Smell training involves consistently exposing yourself to different scents.
Essentially retraining your brain to recognize those smells. It can be a long process.
Yeah.
But for many people, it's been incredibly helpful in regaining that vital connection to the world of scent.
And even if you haven't personally experienced smell loss, I think it's worth taking a moment to appreciate the incredible gift of smell.
I agree.
It's a sense that enriches our lives in countless ways, from the simple pleasure of enjoying a delicious meal to the powerful memories it can evoke.
Absolutely.
So the next time you catch a whiff of something that triggers a memory or evokes a strong emotion,
Yeah.
take a moment to savor that experience. Pay attention to the details of the scent, the feelings it brings up, and the story it tells.
I love that.
Because those scent-triggered memories are a precious part of who we are, connecting us to our past and enriching our present.
They really are.
And who knows, maybe by being more mindful of the smells around us, we can create even more vivid and meaningful smell bookmarks for the future.
That's a beautiful thought to end on there.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the world of smell.
Yes. Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring this fascinating sense with us.
It's been a pleasure.
And if you're looking for more thought-provoking deep dives into a variety of topics, be sure to subscribe to our podcast. Until next time.
Bye.